Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Well, April the 18th is finally here. And if you haven't heard about this, well, let me fill you in. Over the past couple of months, I've been hearing a lot about this date, and likewise have been getting many questions from viewers asking about a number of different conspiracy theories that have been spreading as the date has approached, wondering if something cataclysmic was going to happen, possibly the end of the world. And as you're seeing from these new photographs coming in from the Middle East, you may think that, well, maybe something is happening, but we'll get to these here in a second. And so the April 18th theory basically stemmed from that really creepy voicemail message that guy received a month or two back, and he posted it on Twitter featuring this recording of this really cryptic computer voice message that at some point mentioned the late great Stephen Hawking and that something was going to happen on April 18th and that Mr. Hawking knew about it. And so look, just like all of the other dates that have come and passed over the years, nothing is going to happen, or at least nothing has happened yet. But I have never been and continue not to be a big fan of prophecies or people who claim that something is going to happen on a certain date. However, that is not to say that some very apocalyptic-like things aren't happening around the world as we speak and continue to happen. And you guys have seen this. We've been speaking about it on the channel over the past couple of weeks. This extreme weather that doesn't seem to have an end. In fact, it looks to be ramping up all over the world. And while as you're seeing in this new piece of footage and images of what many thought was, this sort of doomsday storm occurred today over the country of Iran, where this massive sandstorm began ripping through Iran's southern city of Yazd that literally transformed day into night, where at the same time, an extremely rare spring snow has hit several of Iran's northern provinces, along with heavy rainfall in its western provinces today. This dense cloud dramatically reduced visibility and left thousands of people without electricity, whereas just miles away from the storm, nervous onlookers sat and helplessly watched, terrified of this gargantuan wall of clouds quickly approaching toward their homes. And looking at all of this weather and this new sandstorm just now hitting Iran, it really makes one wonder whether all of this weather is just some freak natural occurrence or is the result of a highly secretive geoengineering project, or as I like to call it, weaponized weather, which has been well documented all over the world, wherein which technology down here on the ground, as well as the seeding and spraying of our atmosphere, clouds, and storms has been utilized to modify and control the weather of Earth. And all one has to do is a little bit of research where you will start to uncover weather modification patents that date all the way back to the year 1891, which definitely offer a keen insight as to what the so-called deep state was up to in terms of creating severe weather events. The earliest known patent, again filed on July 16, 1891, is entitled, quote, "Method of Producing Rainfall," and it explains how the rapid evaporation and air chilling can be used to create condensation in the atmosphere, thus producing more rain. So let's fast forward to the 1960s, where during the Vietnam War, the CIA initiated a highly secretive weather manipulation program called Operation Popeye, where beginning in March of 1967, the US government spent over $3 million per year conducting a top-secret mission over Southeast Asia, where using hundreds of planes, they began spraying the clouds and seeding them above the country in an attempt to extend the monsoon season, specifically over certain areas that they wanted to basically be flooded by inducing this extra rainfall. The mission was quite a success, in fact. And so next, let's fast forward to 1987, where another patent proved that HAARP was being used to alter and manipulate weather patterns, using, quote, biologically active chemicals, along with strong electromagnetic frequencies that were beamed up into the ionosphere from these massive arrays down on the ground, all of which was later even admitted on the HAARP website itself. And you'd be amazed to see how early on they were actually successfully controlling the weather. Another program, highly secretive, called Project Cirrus, back in 1947, was successfully used to change the direction of a hurricane. And more recently, even China, using these weather modification techniques, openly operated a cloud seeding program that systematically cleared out any and all rain that was to occur ahead of the 2008 Olympics. So yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on. I could spend hours talking about all of these different patents and programs and leaks. The stuff is happening. So my question is, you guys have eyes and ears. You've seen all of this mysterious and extreme weather happening around the world we've been featuring in our almost every single video now. So tell me what you guys think down below, and we will continue following it. There's some strange stuff happening, all right? We'll leave it at that. So now, lastly today, I want to feature for you guys a new discovery that was posted and found by the operator of the YouTube channel Conspiracy Depot. And I'll put a link to his video and channel down below, but basically, he was scouring Google Earth, and he was looking around the continent of Antarctica, where a lot of mysterious things have been found, and in one certain area, in the middle of the ice and mountains, he discovered what can only be described as a mystery light source that was coming from some sort of object sitting in the ice that was powerful enough to shine this massive bright light onto the side of this mountain here in Antarctica. So check out this clip.
Okay. It's this object here. I'll just spin it round. Just zoom in slightly. Right, as you can see, it's a dark object, which appears to be circular, and there's another lighter circular piece in the middle. Now, the interesting thing is it's acting as a spotlight. Maybe it's reflecting sunlight onto this hillside, but you can see the bluish arc of light there where it's hitting the side of the hill. Now, one thing I did notice was there appears to be something here. Now, to me it looks like some kind of miniature, maybe model of a city or something. I'm not entirely sure. There's definitely something of interest for whoever put this there. Now, I don't think this is ancient. However, it's clearly some kind of technology which is being used, maybe to reflect sunlight onto a particular point of interest on the hillside. Or maybe it is some kind of spotlight, but as to who put it there, I can't guess. I mean, there has been a lot of expeditions to the Antarctic in recent times, but who or why somebody would just put this here in the absolute middle of nowhere. I mean, if I just zoom out slightly, you can see it literally is in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so yeah, this is a very interesting find. Definitely looks to be an object of some sort that is beaming this massive light that, again, was strong enough that it was actually captured from satellites orbiting the Earth. And I mean, you can clearly see it shining towards this mountain here. So the question is, what is this object? What is it shining this light at, if that's what it's doing? But, I mean, I think it's definitely artificial, whatever it is. So, kudos to Conspiracy Depot for posting this. Head over to his channel, where he has a lot of other interesting videos showcasing his findings on Google Earth. And tell me what you guys think of his stuff. And real quick before we go, I just want to show you guys the commemorative coin that I posted a video on a couple of weeks back that was just minted by the Royal Canadian Mint. They only made about 4,000 of these, and after I posted my video on it, they were completely sold out by the end of the day. And if you guys remember, this coin is celebrating one of the most famous UFO incidents to take place in Canada, possibly the world, which has become known as the Falcon Lake Incident. It's one of the most well-documented and physical evidence-rich cases that I've ever studied. And so they put out this coin, and it arrived today, and it's one of the only coins that is shaped in this ovoid manner, depicting Queen Elizabeth on one side, and on the other, the UFO as it was witnessed by the man. And what was so cool about this coin is that it actually came with a little mini blacklight flashlight, which after shining it onto the coin, reveals this really awesome glowing beam of light shining down from the UFO, completely engulfing the man as it did in the actual incident. And it's just a really awesome extra secret feature of this coin, and I'm proud to have this new piece to add to my collection, and hopefully they will make more coins like this and actually mint more of this specific coin, because it's certainly one of a kind, and I definitely think that you guys should try to get a hold of one if you can. So with that, thank you guys for stopping by today. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on social media, all the links down below. Stop by our Patreon page if you'd like to support the channel and get behind the scenes access for as little as just $1 a month. So check out the page. I've been adding a lot of cool stuff lately, and I will see you guys back in just a bit.